Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. We got almost the whole gang. It is myself, Trent, Frankie, Lurch, I believe, is joining in a little bit. He's got his other gig going on. Jake Bass, our lovely Jake Bass, is out for the week on vacation, so I hope he's enjoying himself. We got Brendan Jones, we got Garrett, we got the whole gang helping us out, minus those two, so not the whole gang. But anyways, we're back. It's Cyber Monday as we're recording, so we're giddy. We're slinging merch. We got such cool items. We got printed polos. We got comfort or printed hoodies. We got comfort hoodies. We got all kinds of good shit going on. If you're listening to this, you already missed out on 20% off. But a huge thank you to everybody that did buy, because tons of people supported us. It's kind of crazy, really. Like, Thanksgiving makes you think all the time about what you're thankful for. I saw all those posts, and the fact that so many people buy so much of our merchandise. It's pretty crazy considering where this whole thing started. But we got a lot to get to, and we are very thankful, aren't we, gentlemen?
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving?
Fantastic Thanksgiving. And yes, I want to echo what you're saying there, Riggs. It's amazing when you think about Barstool. Each franchise is we are a small business, right? So like by our fans that listen to us and our listeners that listen to us talk about the fucking dumbest shit on the planet and the universe, they actually are helping
in the universe.
Our brand grow. That's how we're going to grow, is by seeing the people that actually listen to our stuff and they watch our videos. They are supporting us one by one, and that's the only reason we're able to do what we get to do. And it makes you think like it makes me want to do more videos and more podcasts, because like they're helping us move forward in life and move forward in our business. This is our business. Foreplay is our business. And without those people buying the merchandise and buying our cool stuff, we don't get anywhere. We don't do anything. We just become a failed podcast that just gets thrown to the rafters, and you never get to do anything ever again.
Right, and merch is very important. Everything's important, but merch is just direct to consumer.
And you'll see it with the Dave stuff. Dave talks about it all the time. And his whole entire promotion this year during Black Friday was that our fans, the Stoolies of the world, they're the ones that are gonna keep us alive and keep the lights on. At the end of the day, like, the advertising is unbelievable. We love our partners, and they're always gonna go on. But the Stoolies are the heart of it. The Stoolies are it's where our business thrives from. It's the actual people.
Right. If you want, go ahead.
Well, just like Dave's saying, if people haven't seen, Dave's stuff, like if we get into it with Jeff Shackelford or the PGA Tour or the USGA or who the fuck ever we get into it with, what allows us to say and do whatever we think we should do with this little gig that we have here and the way that we want to cover golf, it allows us to not be beholden to anyone else. Anyone else is when you guys out there, listeners, buy merchandise, because we could basically be self-sufficient, we could be self-reliant, and none of that would be possible without all the folks out there listening who buy our merchandise, again, because it allows us to just be pure, real, raw, do and say whatever the fuck we want. And if we do that and you guys continue to support us, this will never change, and it will never be filtered, because we could just kind of do and say whatever we like. Now, like we said earlier, like our partners that have come with us, sponsored us, stuck with us for a long time. Owens is one of them, which I'm holding right here, which we're going to get to. They're absolutely incredible. But no matter what happened with them, if we continue to sling merchandise as we have, which we take very seriously, by the way. We love merch. Every pro shop we go into, we buy merch. So we actually have a really fun time creating really cool items, hoodies, everything. But the more and more people buy it, the more it allows us to basically, frankly, just be us and not give a fuck what anybody else thinks.
And it makes mommy and daddy happy. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm talking business. It makes Erica and Dave see that like we're doing something over here. And you, the listeners, are helping that happen. You are part of this story. You're part of this journey.
Absolutely.
Like, without that, we are not Foreplay. So, like, we're all collectively one big family. You guys are helping. We're putting out this merch. We're putting our necks on the line by putting out a lot of, like, really expensive we have a ton of inventory. This is a huge risk that we're taking on doing Peter Millar stuff and all these hoodies and all these hats. And we're like, I'm telling you guys, they're gonna support us. They're gonna love it. Our fans are gonna do it. And then they fucking show up, man. These listeners show up every goddamn day. Mike, Alan, Alex, Alexa, Ryan, David, Kyle,
Rory, Tim,
you're all
Sam.
fucking awesome. Bobby, you're the fucking man, dude.
By the way,
are you kidding me?
You just made a bunch of people's Alexas go off by saying that name.
Shit.
It's going doo-doo-doo.
Like, that's who fucking does this shit.
Absolutely.
You know? That's the difference between us and them. That we have you listening. You're listening right now. This is not going to anyone that's not listening. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's only the people who listen.
Whoever I'm talking to, you're listening to this. I'm talking to you.
Right, you're preaching to the
If you
choir.
weren't listening to this, you wouldn't hear me.
And they chose to listen to it. They went through their phone, they selected this show, hit play, and they're actively listening to
And
what
I
you're
want
saying.
to thank you. During this Thanksgiving time, we're about to hit this fucking Christmas season hard like a motherfucker. And I want to thank you personally for everything that you're doing. It just makes us happy, man. Like, we're actually doing something.
We want you.
Our fan base is better than any other fucking fan base on the planet, and I'll put them up against anyone else. Anyone else. They're an army. They're a fucking legion. I love them.
Same.
I could not possibly agree more. Big thanks to everyone out there that buys stuff. It really does mean the world. And Frankie's right. We take a little bit of a leap. We order like thousands of items of inventory, and we're like, yeah, people are just going to buy this stuff. And then you guys actually do, and it's really cool. So big thanks to everyone. Talked about partners earlier, Owen's Mixers. These guys came to us and said, we hear you talking about transfusions and cocktails. That's what we do. We're revolutionizing the mixer game. We would love to partner with you, Foreplay and Barstool Golf, and come up with your favorite drink where you just pour it in with liquor and you've got it. It's called the Transfusion. I've got it here. You guys got the pack right there. Cute little can. Really cute little can. Cool logo. Well done. So do yourself a favor. Go Puff. You get it same-day delivery. Amazon next-day delivery. You can go to owensmixers.com, use their store locator, figure out where geographically, physically in the world it is, drive to it, pick it up, drink it, have a great time. They got a bunch of other flavors too. I grabbed this grapefruit and lime because of a little ode to Lurch, who's not here because he does the Paloma thing. But anyways, big thanks to Owens. You guys rock. They support Chicks in the Office as well, a lot of Bachelor stuff. So they're kind of all over. They're trickling in, and we are very thankful for them.
What are you doing over there?
Can I do some ASMR opening of an Owens can?
Yeah, please.
All right, can you get my mic up there, Brennan?
Really crank that thing.
Okay.
Here we go.
This is opening up an Owens Mixers transfusion can. And I will now pour the Owens Mixers into a bottle.
Bro,
Sounds like pee-pee.
right, let's say not only did you activate people's Alexas, but now you're going to make them take a piss.
It sounds like pee-pee, let me tell you.
It sounds like you're peeing in a cup.
Thought
That's
it was
what
going to be a
sounds like.
lot more. Thought it was going to be a lot better than that.
You thought it was going to be a professional commercial. Like,
I will say, though, the beginning of that was fucking erotic.
the opening was perfect.
Really solid. One thing that reminded me, Frankie, one thing you said when we were in Florida last week, that they redo and basically plug in the audio in movies from every single physical act and noise that occurs in movies. I
Yes.
never knew that.
Yeah, so that's a little segue
That's a
into
perfect segue.
Last week, when you guys heard us, we were preparing for the drone video. I'm sure you've seen it. It's got 3 million views on Twitter. It's going crazy on Instagram. Jay Bird Films on Instagram. Jay Christensen from Minneapolis, a nice Minnesota boy. Him and his crew came to Barstool. You heard me last week freaking out if we were going to be able to do it. We only had one day of prep of like walking around the office, seeing what the route was going to be. I had been talking to Jay for a long time about getting him in here. I saw him do this bowling alley video in Minnesota. It was fucking blew my mind. I couldn't believe how anyone could fly a drone like that. I didn't even believe it. I thought it was CGI'd and all this shit. He has all this audio involved in it. I'm like, how does a drone get audio? So we get him in here. We have to get Dave to sign off on it. Dave has to be a part of the video, and we're doing the whole thing. Turns out we had one crack at it. We did one walkthrough to show everyone, hey, here's where the drone's going to go, and then we're going live, guys. We have one shot. We only have one of those. We have one pack of those party poppers that were the ending.
Right. I was saying you're about to do 8 Mile right there.
We had Frank the Tank running through the 20% sign only once. That's the only time we could have had it. So anyone that says there was more than one take, we only had one fucking piece of paper that said 20% off that Frank could run through. So we do it, and it fucking came out so good, guys. I can't even fathom how good this video came out. The route was perfect. Every single person in this Barstool office that was here, and I'm sorry for the people that weren't here. It's really hard to get 200 people in the office at the same time. But everyone did their route. Everyone did their role perfectly. Chef Donnie cooking, he got the steam. He hit a little squirt of water on the flatbed.
I mean, let's just get to the elephant in the room here. I mean, you hit one of the worst
I'm
putts
gonna
I've
go
ever
through them all. You know,
seen
the
in my
basketball.
fucking life.
Josh, the editor in the back, He does. What does Josh do? He does Deion Sanders. He does all these amazing edits for us. The really high end stuff, and then he's just back there draining basketball shots. That shot was one of the most clutch shots I've ever seen in my fucking life. I talked to him before the shot. I said, "You need to make this thing." He says he's only 2 out of 10 on a good day, 3 out of 10 on a great day. His average in that league is 3 out of 10.
He rose to the occasion.
He rose to the occasion. We go around. We go to KFC Radio.
Oh, the KFC Radio one was my favorite.
I mean, the way that the lighting changed.
Nick Hamilton's jumping over desks.
Nick Hamilton jumps over the desk, and Feidelberg hits him right in the chest. It just totally talks. It totally encapsulates their podcast. You come out. Encapsulates. He goes into advisors. He flies over everyone's head. He goes into part of my take, and Billy's doing his bench press. He comes out. He sees Brandon Walker and Devlin hitting each other like they did that was a nice little Easter egg. Goes into the yak. Comes out. See Brianna Chicken Fry. She's drinking. She's doing her thing.
Who's next?
Then they come to Frankie Borelli, and all he has to do is make the putt. He has one chance, one opportunity to make the putt, and he fucking blows it.
You hit it so hard.
He blows it.
You crushed
just right
that
through the
putt.
middle. There's 2 holes. You didn't touch either hole. It just went rocketing through the middle of both of them.
You're lucky it stayed on the thing. It almost rocketed right off.
How many times do you think what's your percentage you make that putt? I bet it's pretty high.
Bro, I have the perfect practice putting mat. I have it at home, the Barstool, and we have a transfusion one coming out. That one, I've made maybe, I can go 8 out of 10, no problem, especially on the big hole, maybe 10 out of 10. I mean, it's the easiest putt on the planet. You just go straight out, and it like kind of curves right into the hole. Something about it, man. We're not allowed to look into the camera. Like, you're trying to act like it's like all one day and everyone's just doing their thing. So you're not looking at the camera. So in the corner of my eye, I'm waiting to see when the drone is coming by. So that's all I'm thinking about. So when it was go time, I just swung and hit. I just hit it as hard as I could. I just freaked out. And I also want to say this is not an excuse. If you go back to the footage and you look at what that drone did to that fucking mat, that mat gets wrinkled because the drone's buzzing so fast that the mat actually flips the ball up. Jay, in the behind the scenes, you make that fucking face, luggage boy, but the Jay in the fucking behind the scenes says, I think I moved that ball from left to right. Dude, there's a curve on that putt. I'm telling you, that thing was going in dead center and it moved to the right. No excuses. We come out. We go into Chicks in the Office. We come out. Trent nails his luggage guy fucking shot.
I was nervous about it because I sort of had to hide away so the drone didn't see me because it goes past me, goes in the chick's room, and then I have to walk down the hallway.
Do we see you? Do you have you ever looked to see?
You don't see me.
Really?
It's close, though.
That's
I hit Westy was over there, and I hid behind. He was at the desk, and I hid behind there. I stutter-stepped a little bit, but they didn't see it. It looked like it worked out perfectly.
So they come out, Frank the Tank, the whole explosion. That's the end of the video. We nailed it. And then, to go back to your original point about the audio rigs, that whole thing is filmed in silence, right? So because the drone is so loud, it's so incredibly loud. He's got these little mini propellers on this. I mean, Brendan, you fly drones for these videos. That drone is. Have you ever seen a drone like that? It's like the kid made it in his backyard. It's this little mini drone with these 4 propellers, and he puts a GoPro on top. Compared to these DJI ones that we have, it's the craziest setup of all time, but it's loud. So we had to go back, and when I say we, I mean mainly Logan Spence. Is that Logan's last name? Yeah. Logan Spence. Shout out to Logan.
St. Louis guy, by the way.
St. Louis guy goes around and figures out how to become an audio engineer overnight. Now, this guy, Jay Christensen, Jay Bird Films, he has a reputation of these videos. Like, if you've seen the bowling alley video, you see the Hard Knocks video, what he did. We need to live up to that expectation. We need to live up to that type of hype, and that sort of.
You don't want to be the shitty one. You don't want Barstool Sports to be the shitty one.
And also, like, you don't want it to look like he fucked up the audio engineering, because we wanted to take it because we had to get it out really fast. He had a million other shoots to do. We're like, we'll take this, we'll do it. Fucking Logan's sitting here in the office until 2 o'clock in the morning every day, learning on YouTube how to become an audio engineer. He's walking around filming Grinelli rollerblading, and he's getting the sound of the rollerblades. He's getting the sound of the sizzle.
They had me roll my luggage next to a microphone
rolling
to get that
the luggage, people cheering, and I did it with him for a little bit, and I had so much fun finding out like what kind of noise do you need, and it really opens your eyes to movies and and all of these documentaries and stuff where things are filmed in silence, and then you have to go back and make the noise, right? Like if we were doing a golf video in silence, you'd have to go back and get the sound of a golf shot and a sound of a golf ball being hit, and like it hitting the ground, and like what kind of sound do you want for hitting the ground? Is it a soft green? Is it a hard green? You have to think about all of this stuff. So Logan did it. And not only that, but you also have to make it sound natural where the drone is going from your left to your right. And if I missed the putt, which I did, and I say, oh my God.
You did.
It should sound like I'm saying, oh my God, from the mic, and then it goes away from me. So he had to like bleed the audio out. He had to bleed the audio from left to right. If you passed a room and someone said something, it has to hit the right ear before the left ear because it's... Dude, he nailed it, man. Shout out to Logan. He fucking nailed it. So
that video was so. I actually did watch it with headphones and earbuds in because you told me all about the audio and how it switches from right ear to left ear, and I couldn't believe it. So I watched it with my headphones in, and it's like 10 times better and more impressive with the headphones in because you get from right to left. It's really, really, really cool that we pulled that off. That Barstool Sports pulled that off. You choreographed the whole thing, right, Frankie?
Yeah, we choreographed it. It was. Trent saw me. I was nervous the day of because you have one shot at it.
Yeah, Frankie is always a ball of nerves. Anybody who follows this podcast or follows anything we do knows that he's a nervous guy. He's anxious and all that. That day it was cranked up to 100. You were because we had one shot at it. You got Dave Portnoy standing on a street corner. He's not going to stand there all day. He's got things to do. So
how did it work? Did you guys have like a time in your head? Did you count to a number and then do what'd you do?
The sound of the drone really helps because it is loud. So you'll hear it coming. You'll hear it go. That was my cue. Like I could hear it coming after Frankie missed the putt. I knew it was going to come my way. And you would walk through it a little bit, so people kind of knew.
So I walked through prior to us doing the one shot, and I said, all right, when it comes here, you're going to throw the ball, Pat, and then Pat would throw the ball. Also, what was helpful was before it got to my side of the office, I was able to kind of walk around and tell people it's coming, like, Grinelli, go, and then also go back once I was done because I was kind of following the drone then, so I could scream out to Pat, like, throw the ball now, and then he threw the ball. So there was a little bit of directing going on, but everyone knew when to go. Like, dude, to be honest, Feidelberg's execution in that KFC room, no one was over there to tell him when to start. And he did it off the top of his head. He completely, what's the word I'm looking for when you, like, just go off the riff?
Improvised.
He completely improvised. I didn't think he was starting outside the room. That was something that he did just for that one take. And so Jay somehow didn't hit him. Dude, just kudos to everyone here. I never thought we'd ever be able to pull anything off like that, but, enough of the drone shot. I'm sure people are done hearing me talk. I've been talking a lot.
It's impressive, man.
Awesome video. Extremely well done. Part of the segue was that we were in Florida. We don't want to give everything away, but we were down there for the Taylormade Shoot. Taylormade does about 3 days each year, a massive production, which, again, this is kind of in line with what you were just talking about with directing. They bring in all kinds of production trucks, content, cameras, and they get a lot of their players, ourselves included, hashtag Taylormade athletes, to come and they shoot a ton of content that they then release over the next, year. And you've seen it with the Christmas cards and the Thanksgiving and the little battles that they have on the range. And last year, a bunch of videos came out with Tiger and Rory and all that. Well, we released our videos last year. We went down and got to film. And, we make our pitches. We submit it to Taylormade and to the players, agents, and teams. And then, we kind of go back and forth. We go down there and we get to film. Again, we don't want to give a lot of it out. Starting early next year, we're going to roll out a bunch of our footage that we got. I would say that this will be, which is amazing to say, this will be the best series of videos that we have ever released, is what we were able to get down there. And we couldn't help ourselves. It was so impulsive. We had to put out the picture of us with Rory. We've never gotten anything with Rory. We've never had any documented, really, interactions with Rory. We love Rory. We're extremely positive about him. We've heard nothing but great things. Every human being on the planet just sucks the guy's dick basically every time they talk about him. He's great in interviews, rah, rah, rah. Well, we had him for like an hour and we filmed a couple videos that are going to come out. And all I'll say is we had really high expectations going in. And coming out, I think Rory McIlroy is the single most impressive human being I've ever spent time with.
The time we spent with Rory McIlroy was the best hour of my life, and I think you guys would echo that statement. He has so many expectations, and we talk about it on the podcast all the time about how he's such a great ambassador for the game of golf and just for being a decent human being. So we've got all that coming into it. And then, at a certain point during these Taylormade shoots, you're just waiting for the next guy to show up. And at a certain point during that shoot, it's Rory McIlroy who's coming. So then the atmosphere is a little different. He's an icon. He's a superstar. But then he shows up, and again, we're not going to give too much away, but he just has a way of comforting you and being like, yeah, I know I'm Rory McIlroy, but like, let's have some fun. And let's make a good video. He was engaged. He liked all of our ideas. We shared a lot of laughs. The whole thing, I just can't wait for people to see it because he's just a great guy.
I remember when we were walking up the fairway, all 5 of us together, I very, very clearly remember. It was almost like a Jim and Pam take a photo, Lurch take a photo type moment where they do like the mental images. I very clearly remember having an out-of-body experience where my actual mind kind of became like Casper the Ghost, and I floated up into the sky and looked down and was just like, remember this moment forever, because this is, I'm currently knowing and I'm conscious of the fact that what I'm going through right now is maybe the coolest moment of my entire life.
Correct.
There's no doubt. And shout out to Trent. You've been the number 1 Rory guy maybe on the planet.
Yeah.
And for this to happen and come to fruition, that was such a big moment, not only for Trent, but for the whole entire group. We stood on the green when Rory left us, and we had an hour with him. I don't think we're talking about that enough. We had an hour with Rory McIlroy. We stood on the green, we looked at each other, and we all just almost broke down into happy tears, giving 100%. Each other high fives, hugs, saying, does anyone realize what we just did? We just filmed an hour's worth of videos, essentially got almost like a podcast mini thing within there. Everything that we did with fucking Rory McIlroy was mind-blowing. The whole thing, from beginning to end, was mind-blowing. And it's not just because he's Rory McIlroy, but also because of the stuff we did with him that was mind-blowing. We got Rory to do things that we've always wanted. You know what I mean? Like, it was so cool to be able to swing a golf club with Rory McIlroy.
And having him give you tips.
What are we talking about here?
And we've had lengthy conversations on this very podcast about what's our relationship with Rory.
We had no idea.
What is it? Does he like us? Does he hate us? Does he not even know we exist? We got answers to all of those questions when we hung out with him. So it was just...
I would say that's we hung out with him.
Yeah.
That is like the best description of what we did with Rory. We hung out with him. We were with 10 players that weekend. Or was it a weekend?
Sort of, yeah.
3 days.
We hung out with like 10 players, and I would say that we hung out with Rory more than we hung out with anyone. That's the craziest thing. We had conversations. We learned about him.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
And I said
he asked about us. Like, he was inquisitive about us.
Yes.
Like, where we're from, where we're going for Thanksgiving. It was shocking. The whole thing was so
cool.
Those it reminded me, like the end of it reminded me of when you see a really good movie.
Yep.
The best part of it is actually afterwards when you get to like talk about the movie with all the people that saw it with you. And like, we just couldn't wait. We just looked at each other that green and we were like, are we going to fucking talk about, like, we have to just speak words to each other about what just happened. Like, did you experience what I just experienced? It was off the chart.
I don't know if it'll show up in video as much as how it felt on site, where for us, we've never known how Rory felt. So I really want to hammer that home. We always thought that Rory like didn't like us, or thought that maybe we weren't the bee's knees of golf, and was like, you know, I'm just going to let those guys do their thing, and I'm never going to associate myself with them. Like, I'm just too much. I'm too Rory for them. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I always had that feeling. We've documented that on this podcast many times where I said Rory fucking hates us. And then he just, for us to be able to, the first words he said to us was like, holy fuck, that was all just wrong. He's the man. And
he showed up the first
thing
he
loves
said.
us. Like, I mean, it was the complete opposite of everything we've ever thought about.
He showed up with such great energy, just being like, he got out of the cart after he got mic'd up, and he was just like, you guys ready to hit some bombs?
Boom.
Or like, this is going to be the best hour ever.
Yeah.
And I said this a lot that day after he left, and it's the truest thing, I think, that Rory McIlroy could be a dick. If he wanted to be, he's certainly in that position.
You kept saying that.
He's got all the money in the world. He's got all the accolades. He's got all this stuff, and he could be a dick, but he is the opposite. He's nice. He's conversational. He's open to hearing about how you feel about things. Like, that goes a long way in my book. When a guy is in a certain position to do whatever he wants, but instead he acts a different way. He's very nice, and the whole thing was just fucking incredible.
Dude, he did something too that day that really made it so much better, which is that, you know, we all hit shots. We were all going to jump in carts and then drive up and then kind of do our bullshit up in the fairway. And he literally just walked and was like, why don't we just walk, boys? And so we all, instead of just carting around ourselves and then like reconvening, that's where Frankie was saying, like, we kind of had a podcast out of it where for like 3, 4, 5 minutes, we were just walking up the fairway, just talking about life with Rory McIlroy. That wouldn't have happened if he would have just gotten in his cart and driven up there and then gotten out of his cart and been like, okay, act 2, scene 2, like, let's go.
Yep.
And instead it was just, no, we're just hanging out. Why don't we just walk up the fairway? And it was, again, we're going to keep saying, like, we don't want to give it all away, which we don't. We want the videos to speak for
If
themselves.
we keep talking, we're just going to talk about every single aspect of the video.
Right.
It was awesome. It was so unbelievably awesome. So we put the picture out. We couldn't help ourselves. We were smiling ear to ear, beaming. I felt bad for the next player that we had because we all were just like, we hadn't gotten over the fact that it happened yet. We were still in Rory mode. And
I'm still not over it.
Dude, the next player we had, I went to that player's like agent or whoever it was, and I bumped him on the arm. I said, "We just got Rory, dude." Another golfer. I was like, man, we're all reeling right now. I actually said to him, I said, you know when you've had a crazy anxiety-driven rush moment, that kind of dull after that feeling after.
It's like a come down.
It's like a come down. It's like coming down from a high.
Yep.
That's what it felt like after Rory McIlroy, where I almost had a headache and I was like hungover. I felt hungover. My whoop was probably off the charts. I felt hungover after Rory.
He was so great.
Agreed.
Are we talking about the other people? Are we gonna tease a little bit of what we did, like of the players that we were with?
Yeah, let's tease it after we do a little bit of BetterHelp. We're talking right now a good amount about how great it felt. Nobody's like that every day. Everybody goes through really, really hard times. We're all aware of that. We all experience that. It sucks. Again, we are all very much aware of those types of experiences and how bad they can be. The best way to think about therapy is we got to talk about BetterHelp. It's through a bunch of analogies. We get our cars tuned up to prevent bigger issues down the road. I have to go get oil change today. It's actually on my list. We get annual checkups, go to the gym to maintain physical wellness. Going to therapy is like all the above. It's routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness to prevent bigger issues down the road. Therapy does not mean something's wrong with you. It means you are investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. Barstool Sports agrees. We are offering BetterHelp services to our employees as an added benefit to help take care of overall well-being. This podcast, Foreplay, sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off first month at betterhelp.com/Fore. Again, you get 10% off your first month. You go to betterhelp.com/Fore. Get 10% off. You got to invest in your mental health, right, gentlemen?
You have to. If there's anyone that knows about that, it's me, and I got to start doing it.
Yeah,
you got to figure this brain out. I run 1,000 miles an hour, so yeah, it's definitely worth looking into and seeing if it's worth. The worst that it could do is you tried it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give it a look. Go see what's going to happen. It's always, it's the most important thing to invest in yourself and your own health, physically and mentally. You have to do it.
BetterHelp.com/Fore. Get your first month 10% off. So down there, yes, we worked with a bunch of different players. Harry Higgs was on the podcast while we were down there, so people clearly know that. We had like an hour and a half with him where we filmed really good stuff, and he's just the man. And then I would say the other guy that really, really stuck out a couple was like Colin Morikawa, who is, the next Tiger Woods, really. Like they're stacking up, comparing his records and everything. That guy, I mean, he's been on the show, I think, 3 or 4 times now this year. Frankie had him one-on-one. He literally took one of Frankie's ideas and wore a suit to Liberty National. He just won a couple days before we filmed. He was in Dubai, flew across the world. That guy, too, hanging out with him is totally different than hanging out with Rory, but it did feel like he was just kind of hanging with us, and he's so competitive that we get really good stuff out of him no matter what we do with that guy.
It was psychotic, the stuff we got with him.
Well, I was also going to say, we stayed at the same hotel as the players, and this wasn't on camera because we were back at the hotel, you had a very funny interaction with Colin.
Yeah, so we all got out of the car, and, it was like Brendan, Riggs, and I, and we pulled up. We dropped it off at valet, and I'm waiting for Riggs and Brendan to get their bags out. So I'm kind of just standing in the hallway of the hotel, kind of looking out to the right. And I see a couple bodies, like, walking into the hotel to my left. I'm not even looking at who they are. And somebody kind of tries to get my attention, stands in front of me, and gives me one of those daps where they hold on to the hand for a long time, and I finally focused in, and it was just Colin Morikawa.
Yeah.
And he's holding on to my hand, giving me that, like, you know what dap I'm talking about, right? Where you're just holding on to the hand. And
Like a
kinda, like, shaking
long
it.
form dap.
And
Long
he
form
goes,
dap.
He goes, my man. He goes, I just watched you for 30 minutes on that Lowering the Bar episode, puking your brains out, eating that hot chip. He goes, how the hell was that? And I'm looking around being like, Colin Morikawa, what? Like, I felt like I was drunk. And I kind of played it fucking cool if anyone was there. I was like, yeah, man, you see that shit? And we're talking about it. I'm like, you should have seen the next day. I was rimming my asshole with ice cubes. So, I mean, we were really getting into it. He was like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, Colin Morikawa is one of the boys, and he will always be one of the boys. We saw that from the first time we ever talked to him. He hates when people put expectations and goals onto him because he just likes to live his life the way Colin Morikawa lives his life. And if that happens to be winning golf tournaments and winning majors and making a shit ton of money and being the next Tiger Woods, that's what it happens to be. But he'll never, ever, you'll never feel like he has some sort of agenda to be some sort of person. Colin Morikawa is always going to be Colin Morikawa, no matter what. He's never going to, like, make you feel like you're less than him or whatever. He was walking around with shorts and a t-shirt talking about me eating a hot chip. That's the guy he is.
He gave me Sour Patch Kids with the day we filmed the video. I think we probably got it on video, but he pulled up and he was eating Sour Patch Kids. And he's like, "You want some?" I was like, "You don't understand what you just offered me."
That's
I
heroin.
absolutely want Sour Patch Kids. But that's just, and then he's just an all-world generational talent who is insanely good at the game of golf, and we put him through a bunch of challenges that were very interesting, and he got very into it. But like Frankie said, he's one of the boys.
One of the boys. And they all really are, man. Tommy Fleetwood, we did some stuff with. He was all-time as well. He was my partner for one of the challenges. I had to drive in a cart with him. That footage is going to be all-time. I mean, I don't even know what we said. When we have to go back into that GoPro stuff, me and Tommy Fleetwood just drove and played a couple holes together.
I forgot about that.
And it was one of the more surreal scenarios ever. I drove Tommy Fleetwood in a cart.
I can't imagine what you guys talked about.
I don't even remember.
You blacked out.
I blacked out for sure.
What's
Everybody
up, boys?
was
What a time to join.
great.
What's up, big man?
I know Lurch is,
How we doing?
Lurch is joining. It's always jarring when your big mug kind
God,
of
my
appears in the middle
ears
of the
just
show.
fucking. I was like, what just
They
happened?
pop a little bit. Yeah,
We're doing, Lurch, we're kind of doing a little tease. We're not really revealing what we got, but we
Yep.
talked about the Rory experience and how amazing that was. We're kind of going through the other guys and who we were able to work with. I mean, honestly, Maria Fossey was unbelievable. Sierra Brooks we got to work with. Tommy Fleetwood, like you just mentioned. Matt Wolf was awesome. DJ was like the guys that we got to work with. People
crazy.
are going to go nuts. And I said, Lurch, I think that this will be the best series of videos we've ever gotten.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just when you said those few names, it's like crazy. I mean, my brother is like, all right, he gives me kind of a whatever from time to time. And then he was
Can't
like, the other day,
imagine.
he was like, all right,
Generational whatevers.
Just
That
a Lurch
Thanksgiving.
on Lurch, whatever.
You have to
A
pay me
whatever off.
You'd have to pay me
But-
$20,000 to go to that Thanksgiving. Just everyone just fucking blowing people off. Hey, I don't really like cranberry sauce. Whatever.
we
The whole
would
family.
watch
Whatever.
I picture Thor's hammer and Captain America's shield hitting each other with the whatevers.
No, but
just an
nobody wants just a
explosion.
guy that just name dropping people. And like when you talk about what we just did,
Yeah.
it was just he was like, give me 5 minutes. What just happened over the last couple days, and you just go down the laundry list. And even when I was saying it, it's
Yes.
like, oh my god, that took place? Like I'm pretty
Dude.
sure that took place.
I had that same feeling where I actually felt embarrassed at my
Right.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Talking about what I just did because I was with a bunch of
That's why I
people that
wasn't
were
going to bring it up, and that's why my brother was just like, I don't want to even hear it.
a
But
bunch
then
of
he just
people that
gave
were
me a quick
golfers,
look.
and they're like, "What'd you do?" And I was like, "Man, we did this with Colin Morikawa, we did this with Matthew Wolff, we did this with Tommy Fleetwood, and then we had Rory for an hour." They're like, "What? Can we like eat our turkey? What?" They're like, "I just had like punched a bunch of numbers into some Excel sheet yesterday. What were you doing?"
I have had
yesterday?"
that experience where I won't even tell them what I'm doing. Like I
I
don't.
know, it's
I
embarrassing.
don't tell them that I was in
Right.
Florida when I was the luggage guy on The Bachelor for the first time. I didn't tell my family because I was just like this. It's an insane life that we live, and then recounting those stories like at Thanksgiving, you're just like I know I sound like an asshole, and I'm sorry. And also we haven't even said this name yet, but people are not ready for the video that we did with Sergio Garcia.
No,
They're just
No,
not
No.
ready. They're not.
Can't be.
the
I
shock-
won't even be ready to watch it.
the
It's like,
shock
it's crazy.
factor with Sergio might be more than the Rory thing. That's how crazy it is with
I still can't breathe properly from what we did with Sergio Garcia.
Well, that's another guy
Also,
where
that guy's the man.
He's great.
man.
His answer to what we proposed. I mean, I just wanted to go out and hug him and say you're even cooler than I expected.
I'll give people a tease. I proposed to Sergio Garcia, we have two options for what we're about to do. One of them being a regular challenge, and the other one being utter chaos where people might get injured.
Yep.
Danger.
Danger. Dangerous chaos is what we said. And we said, which one would you rather do? And he looked at all of us in the eyes and he said, we'll do the chaos. And he just walked to his bag and just got a couple clubs, and then we went and we did the chaos and danger. It wasn't even a thought.
No, and that was another guy who we've had no interaction with, and we don't know how he feels about the whole thing. If he's one of the guys where I would imagine he might not even know who the fuck we are, which is fine. But you get presented with a bunch of idiots, and we give them these ideas, and they agree to it. And Sergio, the whole Taylormade team, the list of guys that they have are so great and so open and so willing to allow clowns, literal clowns, come to their media day and propose outrageous ideas. And I would say
my name is Bozo the Clown. That's
right,
like my name.
right. And I would say pretty much 100% of the time, the golfer says, "Yeah, let's do it." It's awesome, man. It's really great.
Taylormade is the best company in the world. Like them getting how good of players, how good a roster they have, them setting everything up, them getting us the access that we get, embracing what we do, putting us together with their top talent that they invest a ton of money into. The company's just the best company in the world. So a huge thanks to
And
Taylormade.
our help there. You got Barbuti, the king, absolute king Barbuti. You got Mike, who was new on our team,
Mike
who was
great.
running around getting golf. Ryan, running around getting golf balls, filming for us. Mike was running around with a tripod, filming videos, sprinting from fairway to
He
green.
also saved the day when you talk about the end of the Colin Morikawa video. Like,
Yeah, he did.
He saved the day.
Yes.
The guy is amazing.
He's
Shout out
amazing.
Mike.
Ryan was amazing. I mean, the whole entire crew there is phenomenal. We did a photo shoot at one point. The people inside the photo shoot were all time. That footage is going to be laugh out loud
The
funny.
boys got makeup.
There's a point where somebody tells Trent.
First
and
time.
I haven't
First
seen
time
this
with
footage
makeup.
yet, but somebody tells Trent to laugh while he was taking a photo.
Shit.
They said laugh while you swing, and he just like. Apparently,
Laugh,
it's the
clown.
It's
Laugh,
the
clown.
funniest thing that anyone's ever seen.
I don't know if
where
it's
that footage is going to go.
I don't know if it's going to translate. I don't know what it is. But Bug was in there. Bug was we had all these cameras, and Bug was on one of the cameras, and you're getting directed by this guy who like knows what shots to get. And at one point, he's like, "Yeah, give me a fake laugh," and I can't even recreate
I'm the Joker, baby.
I can't even recreate it, but it made Brendan laugh for a solid 5 minutes. So it's now thinking back on that experience, and we did it a year ago too, but this one we were down there for 3 days as opposed to 1 day. It's a surreal experience, man.
How about the Doc Redman stuff too?
So good.
That was day
Right.
one.
Oh,
We're
man,
not
I
even
forgot
thinking
about that.
Doc Redman. I'll give you a tease on this. We took 500 swings each with Doc Redman. I mean, he's sweating, getting water. I mean, trying his hardest to accomplish this feat. It's crazy what we did with these guys.
Jake Bass is the star of that video.
People aren't going to believe that one. Yeah,
Runaway.
almost had a hospital
Shout
visit.
out to Jake Bass, Brendan, Avery, who are on our team that go
Yep.
down and help film and get all this bullshit done. It really, like, they say it takes a village to raise a child. I mean, it takes a village to get all of our bullshit done, as stupid and silly as it seems, and we are clowns.
Takes a
But
city.
man, it takes a village. It does. So big thanks to everyone. I know it's kind of a thank you off show, but it's very important, and none
We're
of that would be
thankful.
possible.
We're thankful for
without
these
it. We're very
things.
thankful.
If you're
And
not thankful right now, then you're just get off.
You're an
just
asshole.
Drop the mic. Yeah, leave.
You're an asshole. Harry Higgs. We talked about Harry Higgs. He was on the last show. A little tie-in here is DudeWipes. Harry Higgs is now the newest ambassador, sponsored athlete of DudeWipes. DudeWipes, great. I keep them in my bag. I've used them on many occasions. They are unbelievably clutch to have. And the simple sell that we've always used is that if you get a big stain on a dish or something, do you just wipe a dry paper towel on it and hope it comes off? No. That would be psychotic. That would hurt. Ugh, it just doesn't work. You want DudeWipes, which are perfect, flushable, created to basically handle your mess way better than traditional methods, toilet paper, whatever. You be prepared for any situation on off the course with DudeWipes. They come in clutch at home. They come in on the course. They've got Dude Powder, Dude Shower Body Wipes, great for products that are hot, sticky days on the golf course, like maybe if you're down in Florida and it's humid. You can find everything on Amazon. Or DudeWipes at Walmart, Target, nationwide. You can go to DudeWipes.com. If you do that, use the code FORE15. That's FORE15 for 15% off your entire order. Again, it's kind of discount season. It's gift season. Use the code FORE15 at DudeWipes.com for 15% off your entire order. If you didn't listen to the Harry Higgs show because last week was kind of holiday week, make sure you go listen to that. One of my favorite podcast interviews we've ever done. We kind of like hoodwinked him a little bit. We were like, oh yeah, 15, 20 minutes. And we did a 2-hour show with him. So he's a great ambassador for DudeWipes. But if you missed that interview, just hanging out with that guy. I mean, it's been such a whirlwind, but hanging out with that guy for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I know Harry Higgs has this great kind of image of the buttons and the sunglasses. And that comes off as a little bit silly or not serious. The seriousness that man takes golf and his golf career is so cool that he's got both of those things going on at the same time. It was like inspirational to hear him talk about golf.
Yeah,
He's very serious.
It's just crazy. You see the eyes of all these guys. Like, you're like, oh, dude, we can joke around. Like, we're somewhat similar. And then they set it into a gear of just competitive mindset, focus, and drive that's like, we're still on the starting line. We don't even know what that's like. It's crazy.
We're in the stands. We're very much in the stands.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Another guy, not the first time I picked up on it, but you do find that these guys, as likable and normal as they may seem, they're different. Scotty Scheffler was the first one for me where we were talking to him out at Liberty, where you think of Scotty, he's kind of and he's walking around.
Damn, dude.
No, that's not.
Ricochet shot.
That's
Jesus.
not mean. He's a jolly fella.
Was that a jolly noise you made?
That laugh wasn't.
You made him turn him into Goofy.
All right. I didn't mean it like that.
Made him sound like a fucking idiot from The Simpsons or something.
Yeah.
All right. That's not. I wish I hadn't done it now. But he's a.
We love you, Scotty.
We love Scotty. He's a super nice guy. But then you start to talk to him.
Scotty told me to eat shit last time I saw him.
He did.
That's true. Like, we were like, what does it actually take to become a professional golfer and to have success at this level? And then you just open the box and they'll talk for 2 hours about how hard it is and how intense it is and how much they have to work. Harry Higgs is very much that same way where, yeah, he's got that image that Riggs talked about, but then you ask him about what's it actually like, what's it take, and it's very serious.
It's sort of similar to that Cosmos documentary by Neil deGrasse Tyson where he shows you the cosmic calendar, and you really see how like Earth and humans are just on 11:59. We're not even on the doorstep of how far the universe goes.
Right.
It makes me feel like that with golf.
Like, that's what we see
Where
of them.
We think we know so much about the game, but then when someone shows you the bigger picture and you meet these guys, you realize you haven't even gone past the first second of the world of golf. You're not even. You did
a good job with this one. I thought you were going to spin off the planet.
You're not even through the front door. It's like people say that we've only explored to the end of our driveway of our own galaxy. Yeah. We're not even out the front door of golf.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah,
Harry Higgs knows so many more intricate things about the game that we can't even comprehend. That's the worst part, is that we can't even comprehend.
Dude, on that analogy, Frankie, I would argue when you were, I think it was early COVID, you were taking maybe 8 steps to 12 steps a day. I would say you're still laying down. Like, if you think that all the scientists and everybody only in this whole world can take us to our driveway until we know what we know about the galaxy, you yourself, what you know about the game of golf is still in the bed.
Correct.
You have not left the bed.
I've rolled over and checked my phone, and I've like kind of shimmied my body back up to get a nice pillow arrangement so I can maybe watch some TV. That's as much as I've got.
But that kind of is the beauty of this show, where we are idiots and we all suck at golf to varying degrees. But and Harry Higgs alluded to it on the podcast, where we are interested in what it takes to become a better golfer. And when you show that type of interest, a guy like Harry Higgs will tell you what it takes. You're not going to be able to do it to his level, and it's going to be varying degrees of success, but he'll tell you what it takes. And us just being interested in it, like I said, we suck at golf, but being able to unlock a guy like Harry Higgs so he'll talk about it for 2 hours, I think that's pretty valuable to the amateur golfer.
Totally. And I think it's awesome because it's this constant chase for like imperfection. Ooh, that was a toughie. And like they're still on it and just further down the line, but we're just at the beginning stages of it. Not to say that we'd ever get close to that level, but I think there's something, when you've mastered something, it's always interesting from their purview of somebody new trying to figure it out, trying to work on their game, trying to get better. And yeah, he was a joy to talk to. I mean, he's a guy that didn't start as a prodigy of golf, but he just worked his ass off late in life to get where he is. And to Riggs's point, he's got this kind of fun look. But then when he kind of sets in. You're like, oh my God, he is super focused in this.
Boys, I will say I got my list of errands I got to do today. What's the first one? Can you guys read that? Or is it back?
Buy Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
Wow.
So we said we were going to be big time Christmas guys this year as soon as Thanksgiving's over. My one of my 3 errands today. Next time we record this podcast on Wednesday, you motherfuckers are going to see a Christmas tree behind me here because I'm going to get that thing today.
Question.
Yeah.
Real tree or fake tree?
If it weren't an apartment and how difficult everything is, I would go real, but I'm going fake for sure.
You don't have to justify your fake tree.
What are you about to say?
I like a real tree. We've
I'm
always done real tree back home.
I'm a fake tree guy my whole life. We've never had a real tree.
Pathetic.
It's not pathetic.
It's pathetic.
Is that
Why is that
allergies,
pathetic?
T?
No,
Is that
it's
allergies?
No, it's that I don't want to have to. I don't
Needles?
want
You don't want the needles on the
Pathetic.
ground?
No, it's not. I don't want to uproot this tree out of its natural environment and then have to take care of it in my living
Oh,
room.
you're a save the world
What the?
guy.
You don't want to
Oh
take, bro. You go to a
my
Christmas tree
God.
farm. They fucking. It's not its natural environment.
What are you talking about?
They fucking grow them for the
bringing a
sake of
fucking-
taking Christmas trees home.
You're bringing a fucking tree into your living room.
never had a
All right,
plant?
fine.
Become Earth Day trend.
Do you
When
eat
did you
burgers,
become Earth
Trent?
I'm
Day
not
trend?
saying that people shouldn't be doing it. I'm just saying that, like,
Golly.
it's way easier to just have a fake tree, put it in the fucking basement, and then when December rolls around the next year, bring that thing up.
Is Christmas season about ease? Are we trying to only find
Is it
the
about
easiest,
labor?
Are we trying to find the easiest way around Christmas season, or are we trying to put work and dedication into it?
I don't want to work for it. I would just want to enjoy the look of
That's
a tree.
part of the enjoyment. You go out, you find the tree, you're with your family, you drink some hot cocoa, you bring the tree back, you cut the fucking, they wrap it around, and that plastic's so hard, you gotta cut it, you get a knife, maybe someone cuts a finger. It's a whole thing. You watch it set, you put the water in. It's the whole thing, man.
We just bring it up from the basement,
Yeah.
you set it up, and that time spent in the car that you would have to go out and get it, and you have to saw the tree down because
Those
you're
are
clearly doing
memories.
No, you're just sitting around drinking, having a good time. I don't have to go get anything.
God, you're so 21st century Christmas. It makes
I
me
would've-
sick.
Am I really the only fake tree guy here?
I would have been fine with the answer of like, yeah, I just don't, I'm lazy. I don't want to go get the tree, rather than you saying I don't want to take it out of its natural
Natural
habitat.
habitat.
Get the hell out
That was
of
a
here.
shocking. That was a shocking take right there.
That's how I feel.
You don't eat.
That's so bad.
No, it's not.
It's like saying you don't want to take the corn out of its natural habitat when you stuff
Oh,
it down
here
your
we
fucking
go.
face.
Here we go. Go make pizza. I'm just saying. I really thought I would have some reinforcements. I didn't think I would be, 1 on 3.
One of those
here, but
moments.
It is
Well,
one of those
Riggs,
moments.
Riggs is getting a fakie. So he's
I'm getting one, but I will say that our family, our entire lives, we've always done a real tree at my parents' house. But it's
Can you even get a real Christmas tree in Arizona?
Yeah,
Is that a dumb question?
No, it's a good question. Yeah, there's trees out here. You got to be able to grow Christmas.
Answer this question: Are there any people out there decorating cacti out there? Because that's something I don't want to be a part of.
Really, I think that'd be cool.
No, I can't. I can't start. You can't start giving me alternate Christmas trees. It's got to be the Christmas tree.
Speaking of which, if you can see that artwork over my left shoulder, I know it's an audio podcast,
Oh,
but
cactus.
yes.
Did you go to a
I
paint?
went
Where'd
to
you
a-
get that from?
I went to a painting class the other day
Oh.
for Axon, and we all painted.
Oh, it's like
and
a
I
team
painted
building
cacti.
thing.
Company makes me want to puke.
No, it's like
God.
let's all go paint pictures together.
Look how bad this thing is. I mean,
I like.
that's a second grade level.
I really like Josh.
I like
Josh, and I like your leader in the thought space. But this company makes me want to puke. I'm a fan of the whole thing. I like what they're doing, but God, the fact that you guys are painting cactuses makes me want to absolutely throw up.
Team
all
building.
Over myself. I'll
It's
team build.
building.
Fake trees.
I'm gonna get a fake tree. Wednesday,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a fake Christmas tree in here. I'm gonna decorate it. My mom sent me all the ornaments that I've been accumulating over years because one of her favorite stocking stuffers every year for all of us is an ornament.
Yep.
So I've got like fucking 40 ornaments that I've
Nice.
never really had anything to do with. So I'm gonna have a bunch of ornaments. So
Just-
again,
also-
this is the last time you guys are seeing Thanksgiving rigs. Next show, Christmas rigs enters the picture.
Your mom has how many Santas?
What is it? Over 400 maybe? Wouldn't say this.
What? Dude?
What?
And she loves Christmas. I'm telling you. I'm talking.
400
Hold on, let me
Santas.
see if
400
Let
Santa
me see if I
Clauses.
have.
It's crazy. She's
No, not
obsessed
even
with
Santa Clauses. Wooden Santa Clauses exclusively.
What?
Who's it?
So
Jim Shore? I think Jim Shore makes these fucking wooden Santa Clauses.
your mom listens to every show. We know that. And I don't want to laugh about that. So I want to be supportive, but that's just a lot of Santa.
Think how much of just your home that takes up. You have 400 wooden Santas out.
Dude, I've seen these.
I got to find one of these videos. It is an appalling amount of Santa.
And now where do these Santas go? Are they spruced around the whole house?
Puts them all around the house, man. So like what we go around and kind of count them up, and she just loves them. And then I will say it makes it really easy every Christmas when you get gifts from my mother.
Yeah.
You get her like a really cool, unique wooden Santa, and kind of checks the box.
You got to think she gets doubled up from year to year.
Yeah, she's got to have a duplicate. How many wooden Santas are there on the planet in terms of just design?
You got to just keep getting like the new version, like the 2021 Jim Shore. That's
They used to
It's
be
like the new Hess truck.
My mom used to love.
Comes out with all kinds of new ones. Yeah.
Precious moments. You know what those are?
No.
They're like, I actually don't even know how to describe what they are, but it's similar to what he's. Hold on. Let me make sure I got that right. Hold on. Let me make sure I got that right.
Precious moments.
Precious moments.
This wooden Santas can get expensive.
Yeah, just like $45-$50 for each pop.
I'm looking. Yeah, that's like the average. I'm looking at one right now. It's $14.50.
Dude, she's got ones like a.
Dude, this is a nightmare.
There's a bunch of those precious moments and my mom used to collect them.
Do they come alive at night?
I mean,
Probably.
probably.
They've got the eyes of the devil, dude. Look at these things.
Oh no, I've seen them my whole life. I don't think she collects
You have
them.
some scary stuff in your house, like those the paintings of your guys' silhouettes in the basement.
Oh, the shadows, yeah, the silhouettes, yeah, that's right. No, that was we did that when we were children.
So one of my favorite ones of all the Santas is there's one that's a bowling pin that's painted like a Santa Claus.
Awesome.
It's like a legit bowling pin. That's a great one. So there's some really cool ones in there, but there's also a lot that kind of, like you're saying, they blend together.
What's
a little
the
bit
Santa that you pop it open and there's a bunch of Santas inside?
Like a Russian nesting doll?
Yeah, something like that. Those things are cool.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and you pop on.
I think Trent just nailed that, but I think that is right.
Some of them, like the smaller
Can't
ones,
believe
were
you came
hard.
up with that,
right
really.
when you get a new one, the smaller ones were hard to pop open.
Yeah.
And you finally got. It felt so good. You're like, wow, that was so satisfying.
This has got me thinking that I'm going to buy a tree on Amazon later.
Oh shit!
Because I don't have a tree in my apartment either, and it could use a tree.
Dude, get a real one. Henrik Lundqvist.
What?
Remember in 24/7 when the Rangers and the Flyers were in the Winter Classic and they did the whole thing, and Henrik Lundqvist went and got a tree. It was like the coolest fucking thing ever. Was it Henrik Lundqvist or was it Hagelin?
I was gonna say it was somebody else. I wanted to even say like Gabrick. I think it was a forward. I forget who it was.
I could have sworn it was Henrik.
I love that scene though. He goes to the village, throws one over his shoulder,
Walking through Manhattan, holding a fucking Christmas tree.
Do they sell trees
You
in
see
Manhattan?
the bowling?
Got
You
a
see the
cardboard box.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
you
that.
guys see the bowling pin one up there?
I
See,
do.
that's a little more organized than I thought.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to
But
scroll
that's
it
only
out.
4 of them, Frankie. I mean,
This
she's
is-
got.
you know, this
Dude,
is
they keep going.
like every shelf in the house. This is a Russian one I got her one
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
It's like a fucking elephant with like a Russian Santa on there.
Those things are
Pretty
going to
cool.
overtake the house at one point.
If
They're
they
all-
came alive, we would get down.
Oh, you'd be down.
Dude, your house in like Toy Story would be off the charts.
Nightmare.
A
Look at
bunch of
these fuckers
Santas with
just go-
different
They're, like,
accents and
coming
shit.
alive at night.
Different
It'd be so
accents.
good.
Like, Dory!
Dude, credit to her. She gets fired up every time she gets a new one. She's genuinely
I
excited.
think you can
about
make
it,
a
so
cartoon out of that.
Yeah.
All the Santas coming alive, and then they all have different accents, and they're all crazy different fucking Santas. You have a drunk Santa, you got an Irish Santa, you've got a Japanese Santa, and they're all fucking going crazy.
Yeah, and she puts up all 400?
I believe she does like a rotation. I don't think they all make it out of the storage every
I
day.
love the Christmas season so much. I don't want to be labeled as a Christmas elitist about this Christmas tree thing. I just think that you should show a little bit more effort into the season.
You're starting to feel like people are going to be on my
No,
side.
because there's a huge market of people that do have indoor that have fake Christmas trees. I'm
think-
just letting you know that what you said about why you don't have a real Christmas tree makes me upset.
That's not actually how I feel. I think it's like when you have the option of a fake one where you don't have to care for it during the month of December, why not just do that?
I think this is going to come down to whatever your family had, that's just where you're going to be strong on that side.
My gut tells me that it's 50-50 on fake and real trees.
I think real trees are more of a new thing.
T, have you ever considered buying an actual live tree back in Iowa? One year we bought a live tree. We kept it in the ball and then planted it after the Christmas holiday.
Wait, what?
You follow?
No.
So instead of chopping a tree, we bought the root system and everything of the tree.
Okay.
And then after the holiday, we planted that tree.
So now the tree lived in your backyard.
Yes. Like 2007 Christmas holiday lived in our backyard.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
I might do that in my future house. I love that idea.
There you go. You're not killing the tree.
I love that idea. And then instead of having 400 Santas, you can have 400 Christmas trees in your backyard.
You are
You have a forest.
the beginning of a forest.
Yes.
So I had to fact check myself. My mom says she has about 160 Santas.
Still a lot,
That's
but
still
definitely
plenty.
400.
That's
Still a lot, but last
Sense
I
of
kinda
relief
fucked
that
her
it's not in the
earlier.
400s. Sense of relief.
Give it a couple of years.
And she also has, I'm trying to find the video of it, she has a Star Wars fake Christmas tree that's got the Death Star on top of it.
Wow.
And it hits this little button and it does the Imperial March and it lights up. It goes dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
dun,
shit.
dun, dun,
Let me ask you this.
dun. Yeah.
How long, like, did you find out one day that not everybody has 150 Santas around their house during the Christmas time? Because there are things from your childhood that you don't realize are not the norm until you grow up and start interacting with other people.
Well, let me say this. People in the Midwest are super into Christmas.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say there was never like an eye-opening experience because almost every home that I went to, even though it might not be exclusively Santa's, was pretty fucking Christmased out in the Midwest. So I don't think there was like a moment where I really realized
Where
it,
you walked
except,
into your
you know,
friend's
maybe
house and you went, where are the 300 Santas? Why don't you have all of
160.
What was my eye-opening experience? What was the one I was really wrong on that my parents clearly made me do? And then
mixing cereals?
mixing cereals.
That's
That was
right.
the one where
You were-
really eye-opening.
But do you guys do, like in the Midwest, I don't think this is exclusively to the Midwest, but like pretty much everybody decorates, puts lights on the outside of their house and does the whole thing. Is that common out in Long Island? On
Yes.
Long Island? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's
I
a big
love
deal.
that.
Big deal. We have companies like Long Island Christmas Lights and stuff. They'll come and do it. Like if you have like a higher level that you want to go up to. But yeah, my dad. Shout out to my dad. Did it all himself. Did I tell you about the little thing he makes? He takes the pool. I think I talked about this the other day.
You mentioned
He takes
it,
the pool
yeah.
skimmer and then takes a wire hanger and curls it, and then that's how he gets to the top of the tallest tree. He kind of wraps it around. Really, really innovative shit.
He
He did it all
great.
himself.
That
I
is
came home the other day and all the lights were out. I was like, holy shit, Dad. What the fuck? I mean,
Holy
not
shit,
that I
Dad.
would have loved to help him because it is cold and
Like,
it's not the best
man,
thing.
Shucks.
But still, you know,
I fucking
Are you
love
guys
it.
ready for the Star Wars tree? I'm gonna hit you with the Star
Yeah.
Wars tree.
I think I've seen you put this up once.
Oh, hold on.
Is the star a Death Star?
That'd be
The star's a Death Star.
Yeah, dude, I've seen this. I've seen him put
Here,
this up.
Here you go. Look at this.
This thing's
This
crazy.
thing's off the charts. Oh, I gotta get the volume going.
And this is a fake tree.
Oh yeah, that thing's nice.
Oh my god, dude.
That's a beautiful
It's got the
tree.
Death Star on top.
Oh, there we go.
How big is that tree? Is that a small tree?
No, that looks like
No,
a
it's pretty fucking big. Look at that door it's next to.
That looks like an 8-foot
You
tree.
see that? It's got the Han Solo on it. It's got the stormtroopers. Pretty good.
Really
now,
good.
here's a question for you. Do you have multiple Christmas trees in your house? Because I've seen people do that, which I
Yeah.
don't like at all. You do. See, I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
one Christmas tree guy.
We always only had the one.
Yeah, I'm only one.
I
But
think Riggs's family goes just absolutely
Bonkers.
bananas.
good for them though, dude.
Mom's favorite
Yeah.
thing in the world is Christmas, man.
That's how we're
I will
trying to
say-
be. That's how we're trying to be this year.
Yeah, we're trying to live up to those standards.
I helped my brother he's got his tree all set up, bought in his house already. I helped him get it the other day. It is. I mean,
nice.
it's nice.
There's all these little
good gift.
things when you get a real tree. There's all these little. You can go on Google. What makes a tree stay alive longer? Aren't there all these weird things that you can do to them? You can maybe pour some, I don't know, fucking Coke in there. I think was one of them or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. No, I mean, certainly like hot water I think is better,
Yeah.
but I have actually.
The Coke, right?
I don't know if Frankie's right on the Coke thing, but it's crazy what you can do to help a tree.
Yeah.
And
It's like caramel.
you know what?
Sweet
I'm going to
tarts.
just jump on his side. I think Frankie's right about the Coke thing. I'm going to go with him right now.
You know what? You know what really keeps a tree alive? If it's plastic.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Oh, it's dead. You're just the worst because you have to save the environment
No,
to get the tree out
I
of
really
natural
don't want that to be
habitat.
the takeaway because I was just
That's my take.
I was
from
just
you.
yelling at Frankie and I just whatever came out came out. A fake tree, and you have memories with that tree every year. Every time I saw that tree, I would get excited like, oh, We've had this tree for the entirety of my life. That thing was there when I got an N64. That thing was there when we got a DVD player. That thing was there.
It's a piece of plastic, though, at least.
Right.
Like,
And those Santas
thing,
are just
that's
pieces of
different.
wood
It's a
to your mom,
living-
I'm sure. You can attach sentimentality.
Gardensalive.com says, just add a cup of soda to the water in the reservoir every couple of days. Don't overdo it.
Am I a tree?
Cut flowers like cut flowers like trees like the sugar and citric acid. And some
Brother.
folks feel the natural lemon lime flavor of 7-Up may act as a preservative as well.
I got a tree in the house all the time, and it's me.
Yeah.
You know what are some great Christmas gifts this year? Nomad Goods.
They really are, man. They're slick, sleek, tender. Not tender.
What?
I was thinking
Tender
of,
is like that steak that we
I
had
was
at
thinking
that
of a
hotel in
steak.
Florida.
The whole time I was thinking of a steak.
Remember how tender that thing was? Oh, boy.
The reason why I was thinking of a steak is because you have a nice brown. It almost looks like a piece of meat. That fucking wallet you've got there.
I got a Nomad wallet. I use
at
this
that
thing
thing.
obviously every single day, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I love this thing. Great gift.
Nomad started as a Kickstarter project 2012 with the goal of building ultra rugged and minimalist tools for the 21st century. Nomad, I have a case on my AirPods, which are in the other room. That's really cool. This is obviously a phone case. It's got a little rugged, very sleek, again, minimalist. This stuff's awesome. They do a great job. iPhone 13 just came out. The crew over at Nomad already has cases available for it. They have an awesome rugged leather one that features Horween leather, the same tannery that makes leather for the NFL and the NBA. Pretty cool little fact there. Cases also have 10-foot drop protection, so you drop that puppy from 10 feet high. I don't know how far you'd have to drop it on the moon for that to have the same effect, but we could probably discuss that afterwards. Nomad cases use leather from the Horween tannery in Chicago that smells amazing. Oh yeah, it does smell amazing. And it's climate neutral. Oh, that smells really nice.
Yeah, it does.
It's climate neutral certified brand. Check out Nomad at nomadgoods.com/4 to see what living the nomad life is all about. That's NOMADGOODS.com/4, nomadgoods.com/4. Check them out. They got all kinds of good products. Tiger Woods update real quick. Also I want to say Band of Dunes travel series. I believe if E-Bug's out there. Tuesday night?
Thursday night.
Thursday night?
Yes, sir.
Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Is that what time we're going?
Yep. Doing it.
Love it. Our YouTube page, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Fantastic
People
videos.
been asking. So
Can't wait
good
to
from
watch
Band of Dunes, drone footage. We got decimated by the wind basically the whole week.
Oh.
So you're going to see us. Carnage.
My knee.
Gorgeous views. Intense matches. Frankie almost got eliminated from a physical standpoint by Band of Dunes. He couldn't walk.
A knee injury that just
Hyperextended
happened
his
to it
legs.
just disappeared.
Yeah, with
Yeah, good point.
which I think was what did I say it was? Hyperextension, which
yeah.
I think with
Soft?
hyperextension is just like resting. Once I rested it for like the week after, it felt a lot better.
Right, because we talk about your elbow a lot on this show, but the knee thing, we had to stop off and get you a sleeve.
It could have been like an MCL type deal too.
The whole thing. You couldn't walk on a couple
was
of the
bad.
courses. I forgot about that.
It was
actually.
really bad.
Wow.
At one point, you got on Lurch's back. You remember that?
Yeah, dude, it was really bad. I don't want people to think I was overreacting. I almost went home. It was that bad.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk, dude. I could not walk. But just even the first episode is going to be so good for people that want to travel to Bandon Dunes. We kind of are going to document exactly our route there with taking, what was it called?
The Loop.
The Loop was an outrageously good service. You're also going to learn from our mistakes about maybe not ever having to take a connection flight through Denver when you go to Oregon. I mean, it was a nightmare losing the bags. So, yeah, it's definitely an informative first episode and just a little bit more off-the-course stuff to start, which I think people do like to see our travels and how we get to places. And
Yep.
that's a huge part of traveling to a golf course is how the hell you get there. So,
And everybody talks about that with Bandon. Everyone's like,
Yes.
Bandon's great, but it's really tough to get to. So we document that and do our same
Yes.
silly BS. It's the Travel Series. Travel Series does well. It gets hundreds of thousands of views. We put an enormous amount of effort into it. It's probably the most comprehensive from a production standpoint, up there with like Behind the Green stuff that we do, trying to get different perspectives. We interview people. We get drone footage, real footage. We film every single golf shot. Again, we got Jake, Brennan, Avery. Everybody's out there. We're hiring freelance audio guys. So it's a hell of a production. Bandon Dunes is maybe the most visually stunning place for a golfer in the world, or at least it's up there. It's at the top of the list. So these videos are going to be awesome on our YouTube page. Make sure you are subscribed and check those out. Tiger Woods update. So this is the Hero World Challenge week. He's obviously the host. It's his tournament. A lot of speculation since he posted the video last week. Is he gonna be involved? Is he gonna make an appearance? Is he gonna do a press conference? Our trusty source, Tiger Woods Legion, who has earned at least one official apology from Frankie Borelli throughout history, tweeted out, I'm hearing that TW is going to be hosting the Hero World Challenge in person and that a press conference is going to happen Tuesday. Also told not to be surprised if he's hitting balls on the back end of the range. Source noted that he doesn't want to take away from the event. So kind of a funny visual of Tiger like hiding on the back end of the range, just getting ready for wherever he makes his return because he can't help himself hitting balls. But it'll be very fascinating to see. I imagine we'll have more updates on Thursday's show as to what Tiger's appearance level is this week, because he hasn't been heard from. I mean, he posted the video, the 3-second swing. He hasn't been heard from. He hasn't done any interviews. He hasn't posted any videos of him speaking, addressing anything. So if he does do a presser this week, that'll make some serious headlines.
Yeah, I wonder what that press conference is going to look like. Is he going to take questions, or is he just going to be like, here's what's been going on in my life for the past, 12 months?
If it's business as usual type of presser, then we're rolling. I don't want him to have to answer all these questions. If he's just there at the Hero World Championship, I almost botched that. Challenge. So I did botch it.
A little bit.
If he's
Hero World Challenge.
If he is just if he's opening up the tournament like he usually does, where he's just talking about how excited he is to be there and all the people that are participating, and it's just like another day with Tiger Woods, that's what I want. I don't want it to be this huge thing at the Hero. I don't think that's where we have to see that. I just want it to be like Tiger Woods is back in our lives. Oh, yeah, Tiger's on TV. He's talking about the Hero. That's what we're going to do.
Just like he never left?
Yes, that's what I want. I absolutely want that. I mean, that's already what he's doing. He's just fucking hitting golf balls already, not talking about it, not saying how his progress is going, not talking about his leg. Let's just fucking act like nothing ever happened. Let's just move on.
He's also not a guy who is – he's not going to answer any questions that he doesn't want to answer.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, those questions are going to be vetted. The people who are asking the questions are going to be prepped. Like, it's not going to be
how you get in that room is big. Like, 100%. I don't think there's no just any Joe Schmo can ask any question you want. Like, there'll be layup questions.
Keep it tight.
So he can dunk them down. I mean,
yeah,
if he can control the world in terms of the report of the accident not really getting out, nobody, if you think you can just go in there and ask him any question, no.
I mean, the first question at that tournament or that presser is going to be what's it like hosting this tournament? And it's all right, now we're just going. We don't want to talk about the car accident. We don't want to talk about the police departments. We just want to talk about we're moving forward. We're heading north.
At some point, we're going to get a Tiger Woods tell-all story, whether it's in 10 years, 20 years, 30
Not
years.
coming from him, though.
Let's let Tiger Woods just be Tiger Woods while we have him, all right? I don't want to pepper in this fucking guy.
Shout out to Sheriff Deputy Alex Villanueva. He's the guy that just shut the whole thing down. He was the first guy on site. Shout out to him. He's kept a tight lid on this whole fucking thing. He might be running this presser down there for all I care about. Get the right questions in there, layups. Let Tiger just say whatever the hell he wants to say. North Korea, controlled media, totally fine.
Yep.
Like you're saying, Frankie, I want him I want him giving the same answers he's always given. I want him, I'm going to play when I believe I can show up and win. I think we might get one of those quotes. And then, like you said, business as usual, keep the machine rolling, get Darth Vader back out there, swinging the golf club, stomping through people, using the force, choking people to death. That's what we want. We don't want all this other bullshit. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting and what I hope we get from Tiger.
I'll know we're back on track.
Tiger joke?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I'll know we're back on track when he tells a joke that no one laughs at but him.
Right.
That's when you know when he does
then we're buzzing.
There's that beat where nobody laughs and he just smiles. Masters, baby.
Where it's something about the speed of the greens or something, something that's completely not what anyone else wants to hear. Well, they're running a little slow or something like that. Everyone's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
It was like, "Is that a joke?"
Yeah.
That's when you know.
Well,
go to the sports book
exactly
and just hammer Tiger.
Yeah. I hope we see him. That would be amazing.
If they're just how are you feeling this week, or what's been going on? Well, the wind here's certainly picked up from where I've been the last couple of months, and everyone's just like,
yeah,
or what the fuck did he just say?
How you been feeling these last couple of minutes? Like, I'm a little sore.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That would be so good.
Yeah,
actually, that would be kind of fun.
I'm a little sore.
Yeah,
basketball.
Legs
time.
a little sore.
I think we've missed on the Tiger jokes. There's something out there though that I hope he hits on.
I hope.
Well, no, that's the goal is to miss.
Right, you gotta miss.
That's
Right.
like-
I hope he says exactly.
I
what
actually
he
think
said.
if he said, "I'm a little sore," I think that's too good. I think it's like,
I mean,
because then he'd be like
he's not
alluding
gonna-
to what happened, which he will not do.
right. He's not going to hit you with like, oh yeah, greens are running even faster than I was driving in LA. Like he's
Right.
not going to hit you with
No.
one of those. He's going to keep it. He's going to keep it real dumb and simple and stupid.
I just hope it's
and that
all
means
about
he's
the
back.
golf course and the tournament. I don't want anything about what happened. That would be all time. It'd be all time Tiger. Not one thing. Talk about the green speeds. Talk about the wind. Talk about every person that's playing.
Talk
Talk
about
about
the
the
field,
field.
yeah.
I don't want one answer about what's happened. I just want Tiger to, as if nothing happened last year. Right now, he's supposed to be up there talking about the field and the greens.
He
and
hosts
the
a tournament.
Yeah, he hosts a tournament. Talk about your partners and all the people that have helped you get there with the tournament, not with your personal life and your injuries and the doctors. No. I want to talk about the sponsors and the golfers and the field. I don't want one reference to what happened.
Agreed. So hopefully we get that. We'll get more updates on Thursday's show. Speaking of more updates, Leigh Elder passed away. First black man to play in the Masters tournament. He was 87 years old. He was brought out, in an awesome moment to be part of the first ceremonial tee shot at the Masters. His health clearly, as it makes sense now, wasn't good enough, so he couldn't actually hit the shot, but he was out there. He was recognized. Hand up. I don't know enough about Leigh Elder. I was doing a good amount of research beforehand. I want to do a pretty good little historical dive, so I'm going to save a lot of that for Thursday's show because I want to do it justice, do it proper. And I also reached out. I want to get a couple people. I think we're going to get somebody from the Fire Pit Collective, which is Janella and Shipnuck and them, who are actually good, legitimate storytellers and know more about this, to come on and do Leigh Elder justice and talk through, more about his impact and what he went through. His story's crazy. I was looking up, when he was 9 years old, his father was killed in Germany during World War II. His mom died 3 months later. He jumped around to all kinds of different, obviously home environments before finally, bursting through. Playing in the Masters as the first African-American. I think it was 1975, which think about how different the climate is, racial tension, all that stuff back then. So again, incredibly iconic figure in the world of golf. He had a great relationship with Hank Aaron, which I saw some quotes, but I want to put all that together to have enough time beforehand and maybe try to get somebody on that can talk more through. But Leigh Elder passed away. R.I.P. to him. Icon in the game. Tiger Woods might not even exist if it weren't for him and the barriers that he broke down. But again, I'm going to wait, do a little bit more justice next show when I have more time to kind of accumulate everything.
Breaking news.
The match.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Tournament host Tiger Woods to address the media at the Hero World Challenge at 9 a.m. Tuesday.
Wow.
It's happening.
Wow.
That makes me think that it's going to be a little bit more of a press conference about everything that's been happening in his life. The fact that we already know a day in advance, all the hype about it. I just want the cameras to turn on Tiger to be there. This is already flipped on my head. This is going to be way too emotional.
Is that going to be live?
Oh, of course, dude.
Oh,
it's going to have
it's
a
got-
billion
yeah.
views.
Is this going to be similar to 2010 presser where they were able to grill him on stuff? Because
I don't
again,
know.
I don't want the Shacklefords of the world out there grilling our guy. He needs to be handled with care right now.
I don't like the 24-hour notice.
Tournament host Tiger Woods to address the media at Hero World Challenge at 9 a.m. Eastern Tuesday.
I hate it. I love that he's back. Tiger's just back in our lives. Obviously, that's an amazing thing that's happening. I just want the best for our baby boy. That's all I want.
Same.
It'll be a controlled environment, though.
You better hope so.
It will be.
You better hope so.
He might say one or two
Jesus.
things off the top about, I don't know.
The worst thing that's ever happened to him.
Certainly up there.
Drove off a cliff.
Wow.
Dude. Fuck. All right.
Hope he doesn't
Yep.
say that.
I just.
He gets up to the mic and just goes, fuck.
He goes, fuck. I drove
Shit,
I drove
man.
off a cliff. Dude.
Fuck, man.
I just drove right off that cliff. God, fuck.
Imagine if he
God
had
damn,
that
it hurt.
kind of levity. He won't. He doesn't.
I just drove off a cliff. I'm just crazy. It's just. Can't though. It was way too serious.
He is. Everything he does is fascinating. I know we
It
talk about
really
that all the
is.
time. Just it never, ever, ever stops. We're now stressing and have anxiety about a 9 a.m. Tuesday press conference at the Hero World Challenge.
I just wish they turned on the cameras and he was there, man. I don't like this anticipation. I don't like it.
It's gonna
We'll
be
see. It's
interesting.
gonna be must watch.
Do Do you think he alludes to the accident like it really didn't even happen? If he's kind of like, oh yeah, like the police report kind of took care of everything. I'm just gonna allude to the police report. I'm really like, do you think he's just gonna like? I don't think he's gonna touch any details of it.
No, he can't.
He might thank the people that rescued him. That might be the only
Mr.
thing he says.
Yeah, Mr. Villanueva, our guy.
Right, like I'm just grateful for the people who, got me out and, but he won't I can't even picture him saying that stuff.
Yeah, got him out from what, Trent? From what?
Right.
Like what do you mean?
The wording is tricky. That's going to be
He's going to be like, yeah,
how many people are working on what his like initial comments are? How many people are like the smartest minds thinking of exactly what we're trying to think of right now?
Do we think the first thing is a sentence with a chuckle where it's lighthearted? I would put the house on something being lighthearted, kind of jokey.
No.
Really?
Nope. Because you got to.
I think it's pretty heavy.
I think he leads with a thank you. I think he really leads with a thank you to the doctors, to the people that were first responders, to those that have gotten him back into a position where he can hit balls again. I think it's a big thank
because
you.
You don't think it's like I bet you didn't think you'd see me here?
No, because
laugh?
you got to think. No. I wish, but you got to think like.
Back or something like that.
That's our world. Like that's how we would start something like that. You got to think in his mind and his team's mind. This is the first time he's speaking since a very, very serious accident.
Yeah.
A thing where he could have very easily died.
Yeah.
So he's gonna.
He's like, yeah, really flip the script like I flipped that car.
Yeah.
Right. He like leads with.
I think it'll be he'll end up thanking somebody right away.
You don't think it'd be like he sits down and he's rustling around, you hear him, and he just goes, "Quite a year." Or laughing, something like that. You don't think it's gonna be something lighthearted?
I want that, but that's
I'm already uncomfortable.
But that's a guy who's got like even like a touch of comedic chops, and I don't know what he possesses.
You think we're gonna see tears tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
No.
From me? Yeah, I'll probably.
Well, no, from Tiger.
No. I don't think it's gonna be that serious.
So. I mean, he almost fucking died, Trent.
Yeah.
But but the whole thing we've been talking about, and I think if you were to put odds on it, I think it's going to go the way that Frankie was talking about, how it's business as usual.
I hope so.
It's going to be a must-watch TV, I'll tell you that.
Goatee or no goatee?
Clean. There's probably a whole team talking about what his appearance should look like right now.
It's like he's a politician. Is red tie, blue tie? What's that going to mean?
And you know what they need? They need us in the room.
Big time.
I trust his team. They've done a pretty damn good job over the last, few
I don't know. I think
decades
we'd ruin him. Go out there and make a joke about it.
Yeah, they don't need us.
No.
I just want to be in there.
Half the things I've said that I think that he's going to say would ruin his career.
No. Him saying quite a year would be funny.
Quite a year.
Quite
a year.
Excited for the hero. Just like boom boom.
Yeah.
That is true.
Glad this year's over.
The funniest thing he can do is not talk about it at all.
Yes. Well, I'd say this year was over par. Something funny.
That's the joke. That's a good dad joke.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. We're going to try and dial it in and get under par here in the next year. Like, just all golf references. It's so Tiger.
Now I can't wait to see what it is.
Working with Joey to get it dialed in. All right. I'm ready for it, though, tomorrow. I mean, I wish it wasn't so much anticipation and hype and fear. Tonight I'm going to sleep like something bad's about to happen tomorrow. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. 9 a.m. A lot of people that are listening to this will already have lived through this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. I didn't even think about that. That's 7 a.m. my time. What time am I going to be? I'm going to be up at 5, just walking, pacing around my apartment, waiting for
it's going to
Tiger.
be so good.
Wow.
Sezzle, something else that's really good is our merchandise. We talked at the beginning of the show about how important it was, how much it meant to us that people support us by, thousands of items of what we come up with to support us. Sezzle is an excellent way to buy now, pay later. It's a solution that allows you to get what you want today while paying for it over time in 4 interest-free payments over 6 weeks. It's now available at the Barstool Sports Store and more than 34,000 exciting stores in the USA and Canada. There's no hidden fees, no credit check if you pay on time with zero impact to your credit score. Sezzle is easy to use, offering instant approval decisions, no long forms to fill out. Sign up, get an instant approval decision. There's no better time to sign up for Sezzle than this holiday season before you do all of your shopping. So again, use Sezzle. Go to Barstool Sports Store, shop now, pay later with Sezzle. We put an enormous amount of effort into our entire merchandise, our offerings. A big thanks to Allison, Alex, Pilar, like our whole crew on the merchandise side. Woo.
They nail it.
Woo.
They absolutely nail it. They're on their game 24/7. If you text them at 11 o'clock at night about an idea or a mock-up, they get right back to you. I mean, I think Allison's birthday was yesterday in between all of this madness, in between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So they just work right through all of life events, and no matter what happens. And you know what's crazy? It's so selfless. They're doing stuff to benefit our brand and our lives. Of they're just trying to help us come up with the best merch. And it's so crazy to see how hard they work on finding the right combinations of exactly what we need to knock it out of the park.
And
this year.
think about how many brands we have.
It's crazy, dude.
We're the golf brand, and we have a shit ton of merch that we sell, a bunch of different varieties, different types, but we're just one of the brands, and they work with all of them.
It's last night during this Black Friday sale, we're selling all this merch and we're pushing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden they release a Absolute Wagon Leafs shirt that they had to mock up right when the Leafs won 5-1 in that game. So that's another thing. At 11 o'clock at night, they had to figure out how to get that on the site and put that on discount and push that and put think about how much stuff too, all the photos gotta go on the website and you gotta change it and all the artwork and all the graphics, and it's fucking nuts. The team's deeper than what we've already said. I mean, there's what I would think are hundreds of people, or maybe it's just the team that we said and they work for hundreds of people.
I think it might just be the ones that we said.
Fuck.
I don't know, though. I don't know.
Well, thank you to everyone. It's crazy how much work goes around here. It's not just – I think a lot of people have the perception that this is just a frat house that people love to throw things around and we just get lucky with a lot of the stuff. But we get lucky in the fact that we have really good workers that help us. That's where we get lucky. It's not just stepping into shit. It's people working really, really hard to help us.
Yep.
We do. We have an amazing team. So huge thanks to them. And you can use Sezzle. You can buy now. You can pay later. Go to the Barstool Sports Store. Grab stuff because we got, even outside of the Barstool Golf brand, there's just phenomenal gear in there that you could pick up. Congratulations to the Fowler family, to Ricky and Allison. They welcomed their first child, baby girl, Maya Fowler. Great name. I believe it was November 18, 2021. Ricky posted, as you can see, Allison and I are beyond thankful. A whole new meaning to life. Maya Fowler, born 11/18/21. My heart is full. So a big congratulations to the Fowler family. I would say that there's a very, very high likelihood that child, boy or girl, no matter what it was, is going to be a very attractive individual, because the Fowler family are incredibly handsome and gorgeous. So I think that child
Feels like
is
one of the things
that
I
was the turn. I did not think you were going to go there with that. I
thought you were going to go athleticism.
Yeah, I did too. She was a pole vaulter. He's obviously a stud athlete.
I would say both. That'd be my guess.
The attractive
I had to guess.
thing,
They are two good-looking individuals. That's true.
You also came in hot with a great name. You were like, this is a great name.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think Maya's a good name.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like the name?
No, I do.
like the
I
name.
do.
I didn't see the great aspect to it, but you kind of all tie together when I guess they're
You
going
love
to be just...
you love this child.
Saying,
Yes, Rick's just obsessed with this child.
this child's awesome. I want this child.
Woo!
Look at no, never mind.
That's what I was going to say
No,
before.
Everybody be careful.
Yeah, no,
Everybody be careful.
Yeah. Ricky's really grown up since that Ryder Cup picture. Remember that one? Where he's
like,
all alone, and then look at him now. He's a father. All these guys are growing up. It's crazy.
It's weird to see from spring break and all that to now.
Right. They're all getting married. They're all having kids.
We're getting old.
Growing up.
It's a lot.
People are growing up.
Did I see JT? Is JT engaged?
Yeah,
Is
he's
that what
I
I saw from
think
Justin
he's,
Thomas recently?
Yep, congratulations to him.
Everybody's growing up. And then the match. So I kind of mentioned this earlier. Brooks absolutely dusted Bryson DeChambeau. He beat him, I think, 4-3 in a 12-hole match. Pretty underwhelming. The team that puts the match on, we know well, they're awesome. I think they do everything they possibly can to create cool events outside of the norm in golf. I don't think this one had a ton of pop. I think they kind of got screwed by the Ryder Cup, sort of coming together of Brooks and Bryson that kind of killed a lot of the hype and a lot of the bad blood, it feels like, between the two of them that have been building up for the entire year. So I think they kind of got hurt by that a little bit. I'll be curious to see ratings or numbers. I haven't seen any of that yet, but just general consensus from people I've spoken to, golf world, people in golf Twitter, whatever, that there was not a ton of pop around this one. It probably didn't help that in a 12-hole match you have a 4-3 dusting by one of the guys.
Yeah, I always judge things like this, and pretty much everything, on how much traction it gets on social media, Twitter for myself. And I don't know, didn't have the moments. The most of the stuff that I saw was about Phil's commentary, about the things that he was saying. Obviously, he's great on the mic, and like that's going to be such a lucrative thing for him after he beats up on the senior tour for 10 more years. But like nothing. I thought we were going to get something explosive from Brooks and Bryson, like something really crazy. And outside of that, if you're not going to get that, if they're just going to kind of be near each other, kind of talk shit, but not really, and then have one guy blow out the other. Not the pop that they were looking for, as I would imagine.
Bryson brought cupcakes and called them cupcakes, and it was unwatchable, honestly, with other things going on the weekend, and I was at an Islander game. I couldn't even fathom sitting there watching those two guys play golf, especially after what we had just done at Taylormade Media Day and playing with those guys and seeing how cool all those guys were. It really made me think, like, and I am more on Bryson's side now than I ever have been, and I'll fully admit that the Ryder Cup completely changed my perception of him. But those two guys are zeros to me when it comes to comparing them to the other guys on tour. What we saw at Taylormade Media Day really showed me how much I don't care about Brooks and Bryson at all. There are so many cooler, down-to-earth, regular dudes that we should be like focusing our time on tour than Brooks and Bryson. I'm done with that storyline. It's just I watched like Brooks like walk around and he was like laughing with the fucking AirPods in his ear, and it was just like, this guy sucks, man. I just didn't like. I don't know.
Well, and also, and we're obviously biased, but what everyone wanted to see was Dave versus Brooks and Bryson on Dave's bag, like that, and I think I talked about it on the lead up to this match where it gets a little too corporate and it's not a natural environment. Where at Barstool we let things go. We let the people involved dictate what happens, where in a match, I think it's very much, you kind of knew what was going to happen, and there'd be a couple little comments here and there where people are going to be like, whoa. But if you let Barstool do it, and if you do the Dave versus Brooks with Bryson involved, that's where you get the real shit. And it's unfortunate that it didn't happen.
Just get the sense that Brooks thinks he's the biggest ticket in the show. Like he's the guy that draws all the eyeballs, and that's what makes me really turned off about him. He's got that sense to him, and that's just my opinion on him. I'm not saying that that's actually how he carries himself, but it's just like the idea that we had this whole match with Dave set in stone. He obviously gets hurt by hitting the root in the tree, and he hurts his wrist, and he says he's going to take a couple of weeks off. He has the Ryder Cup. We'll reconvene after. And then he just completely out of the blue does this match with Bryson, and it's like, yeah, go fuck you and everything that you guys planned. And Dave's practicing for the match, and we got him all these clubs, and we're talking all these golf courses, and we have all these things planned, and then he just completely wipes it away and does this other money grab with Bryson and acts like he's the fucking show, and it had nothing to do with Dave, and people are going to watch Brooks no matter what. I mean, come on, that turns me off big time on that guy. It's just a sour taste in my mouth when it comes to Brooks Koepka. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm not. Again, I was at a bar watching the Blues game. They were on at 2:30, and this match didn't even have volume on, so we were kind of paying attention a little bit. You know, we threw a little bit of money on it, trying to have, but wasn't that into it. And without volume, it's pretty tough for me to make a big judge. But you're right. It's just kind of like whenever they would show Brooks, kind of like was walking like he's cooler than the other side of the pillow, as some say, and it just wasn't. It wasn't really doing it for me. We've talked about this whole thing ad nauseum, and I do not think that this like settled anything. I just didn't really care. I don't think a lot of people care that much. I think there are a million other storylines, and I do very much agree with your point that coming from those interactions and the time that we spent with 10 other players out there on the PGA Tour and LPGA Tour, I'm way more invested in what's going on with them and how they're doing than I am in these two and their kind of corporate beef that they had.
And that's why, and not to toot our own horn, this is what Taylormade saw by sending us to Taylormade Media Day. We need to be able to do the stuff that we did at Taylormade Media Day, to show those new storylines and to show people that side of the players that they don't usually see. Because I needed that day to see a couple of the guys in those elements, to now become a huge fan of them and now forever want to be invested in what they're doing on and off the golf course, as opposed to like all we've been fucking fed for the last year and a half has been Bryson versus Brooks. That's the only thing that we've been told to care about. Meanwhile, there's so many other guys and so many other storylines and so many other players that you absolutely should be caring about instead of these two fucking beefcakes.
Yeah, I can't do another 12 months of Brooks versus Bryson.
Is that a bit? What is it?
Yeah, I agree.
Beefcake.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think at the beginning of it, it was obviously they were put up against
Just
each
say
other as like
meatheads.
nerd versus jock or whatever. And then like now we've played out the string pretty much the whole way to the point where what else is there? Like I think if you had asked at the beginning of the Brooks versus Bryson thing, you had said, "Oh, at the end of all of this, they're going to play a match against each other," and people have been like, "Holy shit, that's going to be awesome." And now the match is over. Brooks killed Bryson. I don't even think that matters. But what else could there be with this little rivalry that has been going on forever?
I also just like the way everything was presented, like the social media and like if you were on Brooks or Bryson's side, it was just a lot of it. And I think it just got kind of too much and just kind of like I was done with both of them by the time this match happened. You know what I mean? Where when it was like right away, I was pretty intrigued. Depending on what side you're on, you know, Bryson would say this, but then Brooks was doing kind of all his like Michelob Ultra and like kind of like dogging him on different angles. And like by the time the match showed up, I was like, dude, I'm just done with both these people for the time being. And
right.
So just wasn't interested. Like they were both, I don't know, they both were downgraded in terms of like how I felt about them. So it was just kind of like a whatever to the match. You know what I mean?
Right. And I agree. Like what I don't think they saw coming was people being sick of both of them. Like I think they thought that people were going to dig in on either side and you're either a Brooks or a Bryson guy and that they're going to be able to butt heads for however long they want to. But they got so many headlines and they got talked about so much that it became clear that neither of these guys are all that likable, and people are just done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And again, I love that team that does this. This is, I think, the fourth or fifth iteration they've put on the match since like 2018. Tiger Phil, they brought in Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. They've done all kinds of cool stuff, and I love that innovative sort of unique look outside the box, trying to make cool golf events that are different than the norm. We're all for that. I just think they kind of got screwed by Brooks and Bryson really just losing a ton of steam and nobody caring that much, whereas that was a main storyline for a lot of the year.
For sure.
And the times that we talked about it and we were super passionate about it and we cared. I just think at the time that they ended up doing it, people didn't really care even close to the degree that they cared beforehand. So they got a little bit unlucky there, but I hope they keep doing it. I hope they keep coming up with unique concepts and matches. It's not that dissimilar from what we do, just kind of a different form and medium that they do it in. So I hope they keep going. I think they did all they could and they just got a little bit unlucky with it. All right. I got nothing else.
What's this Dylan DeChair tweet about the Saudi International, the commitments?
Yeah, I actually do have that on the little outline here. So I think they've got 25 players. They tweeted out the list. Some notable names: Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, Sergio, Adam Scott, Poulter, Bubba, Abe Answer. I saw Graham McDowell's in there, which I put on my list because it's just funny to me that like they're hung. The Saudis, I think, just love Graham McDowell for whatever reason.
Bubba,
like, he did win over there, I think, but he's just and essentially they're at the point where they're waiting for the PGA Tour to decide if they're going to grant them permission to play outside of their tour and play in the Saudi event.
Right. So the ball is fully in the PGA Tour's court right now, and haven't they said in the past that they weren't going to allow PGA Tour players to play in the Saudi Invitational, or am I wrong about that?
Well, I believe that it comes down to if you're equating this Saudi International, or whatever the event's called, Saudi Invitational, equating that to the Saudi-backed Premier Golf League, because the PGA Tour has said that they will ban, I believe, anyone who joins or participates in the Premier Golf League or whatever other spinoff, the Greg Norman show, whereas they've been allowed in the past to play in the Saudi Invitational, which has been part of the European Tour. I think now it's Asian Tour sanctioned. So really it's kind of, you're right, the ball's in the PGA Tour's court. Like, what precedent are they going to set, on an ethics standpoint, on a competition standpoint, tour versus PGA Tour versus other tours? If they don't allow the players to play, they're basically going to, everyone's laughing because the appearance fee that the Saudis are paying these players to come over is significantly higher, as everybody knows, than the fines that the players are going to get. Like if the PGA Tour doesn't allow them to play, they just fine these guys. But I think that's the only punishment. And so if the appearance fee is way higher than the fine, it's just a addition and subtraction situation. Nobody gives a fuck, and they're all going to go over and play anyway.
Real star power on that list.
Serious.
Yeah,
Graham McDowell.
Really,
Right.
I know. Graham McDowell, and he's been like a headline the whole time. So I love that they're interested in him. Couple majors, but yeah, people are really excited about him.
Graham McDowell, by the way, Graham McDowell might be our next guest on the show. I have Graham McDowell's phone number because I was trying to get him on the show during the Ryder Cup because he was one of the vice captains, and I was trying to get him on the show during that, and he was like, sorry, it's really hectic. I was DMing him. He's like, sorry, I'm really hectic. Here's my number. I don't check Instagram very often. And then went back and forth real quick, but couldn't get him on that week because it was like last second. So I think I'm going to text him and try to get him on Wednesday's show. I think that just reminds me of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That'd be a great perspective.
Let's get
would be.
Graham McDowell on here. He's just the Saudis' favorite. They love Graham McDowell over there.
I think his answer should be pretty short. Like, yeah, I'm just going to go over there and get paid a bunch of money, and like that's what it is. Like, I don't care about a waiver or whatever I have to get approved. Like, I'm just going to go collect a check.
And we can all talk about how bad the Saudi regime is and your ethical opposition to them. But at the end of the day, we put the same thing forward. Like they pay us $10 million each to do the 4-man scramble plays in the Saudi league. Book our fucking flights. We're
Trent's
going
getting
over
a real Christmas tree.
Fake Christmas tree is the way to go.
I don't know. I don't know if they allow those over there. It might have to be a little careful with Christmas
we should
stuff.
definitely put up a poll about fake and real trees because I'll be curious to see what the results are.
Okay.
What do you think the number will be?
I think it'll be.
So I think that number is pretty close.
Yeah, I think
I
it's gonna
just
be
don't
pretty
think
close.
many people are concerned about, taking the tree out of the natural habitat.
That's
And
not my
I would-
actual reasoning. I want
said.
that
I
to
would
be
like
clear.
the poll
Written
to
in
be.
stone.
That was a
I would like the poll to
stunning
be:
comment from you.
are you getting a fake tree because you don't want to pull a real tree out of its natural habitat? And I would like to know the answers on that.
No, I don't want that to be the poll.
I think as time has gone on and technology has advanced and the trees have looked more real and all that bullshit, it's absolutely going to be closer to 50-50, maybe even more fake than real.
You think that's the reason? Because they've
Absolutely.
technologically advanced.
Totally, dude. Back in
Christmas
the day, I
trees?
feel like fake Christmas trees were like a weird thing to get because they kind of looked weird, and real Christmas trees were like the only thing you could get. There wasn't.
We've been doing it since the
Let me ask you
90s.
this.
I'm saying
Do you
even
think
before that though.
Do you think before electricity, did people like put candles and shit or torches on trees, or is that like crazy dangerous? You just burn your house down.
We've got to figure out the history behind Christmas trees. That's what we got to do. Maybe next episode.
right,
Christmas
next
lights,
show.
though. Christmas lights is really interesting. What Riggs just brought up, like, who was
Yeah.
the first person to grab a set of lights and put it on a tree?
Let's figure it
like-
out. I'll do
That
some
feels
research.
like Frankie Facts.
Yeah, I'll do some research. The history behind the
So-
Christmas lights and the Christmas tree. Just remind me right before we do the show so I can do some work.
Okay.
Thursday's show, you're going to get a history lesson in Christmas trees and Christmas lights. You're going to get reaction to Tiger Woods' press conference, and we are going to get deeper and do Lee Elder justice on his impact in the game of golf. So stay tuned. We'll be back on Thursday. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit hard.